Hey class, so this lesson is called multiplication and division of fractions. Okay, so just a couple things not to forget. The first one, mixed fractions need to be changed to improper fractions before doing any calculations. Next, a common denominator is not needed when multiplying and dividing fractions. Yay! And last one, if there is no denominator, use a 1. Okay, so these questions right here, it says a multiplication of fractions. So to multiply fractions, you're going to multiply the numerators, the top. So multiply the tops together, then you're going to multiply the denominators together, and then you're going to reduce to lowest terms. So our first example is 1/2 times 1/4. So what this means is our numerator is 1 times 1, and our denominator is 2 times 4. Okay, and then equals, we know that 1 times 1 is 1, and keep the line, which means divided by, and then 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, and that is in lowest terms, so that's the final answer. So next one, we have an example. 2 1/3 times 4. So first thing first is we have to change this to a mixed, an improper fraction, okay? So we know that 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. So on top we have 7, and then you keep the denominator same, which is 3. And then we're going to multiply it by, remember our last thing over here? We said if there's no denominator, use a 1. Okay, so we're going to go here and we're just going to use a 1. So it's going to be 4 over 1. Okay, now we can multiply our numerators together. So 7 times 4 is 28 divided by, then we have 3 times 1, which gives us 3. Oops. Okay. And then we have to change this to a mixed fraction. So 28 divided by 3. So 28 divided by 3 gives us 9. Okay, so we know it goes in 9 times. And then to figure out what's left over, we can do 9 times 3 gives us 27. And when we look over here, we had started with 28. Oops. So we're going to have 1/3 left over, right? Because 9 times 3 is 27. So 27 to 28 gives us 1. And then we still have to keep our same denominator as 3. So this is your final answer. Okay, next one. We have 3 1/4 times 1 2/7. So we got to change it to an improper fraction. So 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 1 gives us 13. So we have 13 over 4. And then we have to multiply this one. We have 1 times 7 is 7. And 7 plus 2 is 9. So we have 9 over 2. Okay. And then we're going to multiply our numerators together. So we're going to have 13 times 9. So 13 times 9 gives us 117. So we have 117, and the denominator we have 4 times 2, which gives us 8. So we have an 8 there. And then we're going to see how many times 8 goes into 117. So 117 divided by 8 gives us 14. Okay, so we know it goes in 14 whole times. And then to figure out what's left over, we can do 8 times 14. 8 times 14 gives us 112, and we know we had 117. So 117 minus 112 gives us 5, and we still have our, oops, 1 second. My goodness. So I'm not perfect. Did anyone else notice that I made a little mistake here? Okay, so let me just erase this 2, okay, which means this 8 is going to be erased. So we know here this denominator should have been 7. So sorry about that, guys. Good thing I caught it. And now we can do 7 times 4 is 28. So our denominator here is 28. Okay, so I'm gonna erase this just to give us the correct answer. Okay, so we need to figure out how many times 28 goes in 117. So 117 divided by 28 gives us 4. So that looks a lot better. So it goes in 4 whole times. And then we can see what is left over. So we have 28 times 4 gives us 112. And so we had 112 to 117. So 117 minus 112 gives us 5. And we still have our same denominator, which is the 28. So 28. Okay, and then we can't go any lower. That's in lowest terms. Okay, so sorry about mixing that one up, guys. And then our last one here, this looks a little weird, so it really should look like this. 3/8 in a bracket and then squared. Okay, so what this means is we're just gonna multiply 3/8 by itself twice. Okay, so I'll just write this out first. So we have 3/8 times 3/8. Okay, and then we can multiply the numerators together. 3 times 3 gives us 9, and then 8 times 8 gives us 64. Okay, and then we can't reduce anymore, so our final answer is 964. Okay, so I'm going to go on to the next one. Remember, if I'm ever going too fast, you can pause this video and rewatch it as many times as you need. Okay, so first things first, we're talking about division of fractions now. It says you're going to multiply the first fraction by the reciprocal of the second fraction. And then it says follow the rules of multiplication. So reciprocal, that's what this little guy is over here. So the reciprocal is the second fraction is flipped. Oh, what did I do? Sorry about that. Once again, learning this technology. I hope by the end of this semester, I'm a lot better than I am right now. Okay, so talking about the reciprocal right here. So what that is the second fraction is flipped. So the second fraction is flipped. This is so hard writing on the screen with my finger. Okay, so for example, this first one, it says 1/3 divided by 1/5. Okay, so 1/3 stays the same. Okay, and it says here we're going to multiply the first fraction by the reciprocal of the second. So that means we're going to multiply the first fraction by the flip of the second. So see right here, it's 1/5. Well, to flip it, it's going to be 5/1. Okay, and then we just treat it like multiplication. I love these. They're pretty fun. So then 1 times 5 is 5. And then 3 times 1 is 3. Okay? And then we can reduce that. So 3 goes into 5 one whole time, right? Because 3 times 2 would give you 6. And we only have 5 up on top right here. So we can't go in twice. So we can just go in once, okay? And then 3 times 1 is 3. And we need to get to 5. So 3 plus 2 gives us 5, which means we have 2 left over. And then you keep the denominator still the same as the 3. Okay? Second question, 2 1/4 divided by 7/8. So first things first, we have to switch that first one to an improper fraction. So 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. So it's going to be 9/4. And then we're going to flip and multiply. So we're going to flip the second one. 7/8. What'd you say it was? I'm pretty sure I can hear you through the computer. 8/7. Good job, guys. Okay, and 9 times 8 is 72. And then down here, 4 times 7 is 28. Okay, and then we can, it's an improper fraction, we can change it to a mixed fraction. So in our calculator, we can do 72 divided by 28. So we know it goes in 5 times with some remainder. So 5 times. And now let's figure out how much is left. So I always do 28 times 5, which gives us 100. Oh, did I do that right? 28 times 4 gives us 112. Okay, so let's do that again. So 72 divided by 28 is 2. Okay, I don't know why I had a 5 there. Okay, I typed in the wrong number by accident. Okay, so we know it goes in 2 full times, and then we need to figure out what's left over. So then 28 times 2 gives us 56, and we need to get to 72. So we can do 72 minus 56, and we are left with 16. Okay, so 16 over 28. And then we can reduce that even more. Okay, so we can divide both by 8. Okay, so 16 divided by 8 is going to give us 4. So let's put this in. So we're still going to have 2. And then 16 divided by 8 gives us 4. Okay, sorry, divided by 4, not 8. And then 28 divided by 4 gives us 7. So we're left with 2 and 4/7. And next question. So we have 3/5 divided by 4. So you're going to write 3/5. Instead of divide it by, you're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So remember, if there's nothing underneath the 4, we put a 1 there. Okay, and then so we can flip it. So instead of 4 over 1, it's 1 over 4. And then we multiply the numerators. 3 times 1 gives us 3. 5 times 4 gives us 20. Okay, and that can't be reduced anymore, so that's your final answer. And then the last one, we need to switch it again. So we know 1 times 2 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So we have 3 over 2. And then I'm still going to just write divided by first because I want to try to switch this first. So 3 times 2 is 6, and 6 plus 2 is 8. So we have 8 over 3. Okay, now we can flip and multiply. So we're going to have equals. We'll keep the first fraction the same, 3 divided by 2, and then we're going to multiply, and then we're going to switch this one. So 8 over 3 is going to change to 3 over 8. Okay, now multiply the numerators. 3 times 3 gives me 9. Divided by 2 times 8 gives me 16. Okay, so we have 9 over 16, and then no number can divide evenly into both, so that's your final answer. And then this right here is just the homework that you're going to have for this lesson today. So I'm also going to attach this separately so that you can print this off and complete it. And remember, I'm going to be setting up each week to collect your work. So this would be called like, this week is all week 1. So every day you're going to upload the homework to week 1. So you might have, say at most 10 things to upload to me 1 week because we have 2 lessons a day. All right. So you might have up to 10 things to upload in a week. And some weeks might be less if we had, you know, if I did a quiz instead or a test or a review or something like that. Okay, so this is just for me to make sure that you're doing your work daily, and I just mark it as yes, you did it, or no, you didn't. So I don't mark every single question, but it is just for me to know that you are doing and attempting your work. Okay, feel free to message me on Edsby if you have any questions. Bye.